Sweden had waited 8 long years to return to the biggest stage in football. 8 years of watching from the outside. 8 years of wondering when they would finally get another chance to prove they belonged among the world's elite. And when that opportunity finally arrived against Tunisia, Sweden didn't just show up. They made a statement. From the opening whistle, there was a feeling that something special was building. Tunisia entered the match with confidence and belief, determined to begin their campaign with a positive result. But what unfolded over the next 90 minutes was a reminder of just how ruthless Sweden can be when everything clicks into place. The warning signs appeared early. Sweden surged forward with purpose, slicing through the Tunisian defense with quick movement and direct attacking play. One dangerous run nearly produced a breakthrough as a Swedish attacker burst into space and charged toward goal. The goalkeeper rushed out, the angle tightened, and just when it looked certain that the net would bulge, a desperate defensive block arrived at the last possible moment. For Tunisia, it felt like a huge escape, but the danger wasn't over. The ball remained alive. The pressure continued. And then came the moment that changed everything. The loose ball fell kindly for Sweden. A quick adjustment, a split-second decision, one clean strike. The shot exploded off the boot and flew past everyone. Goal. An absolute rocket. The stadium erupted. The Swedish players raced away in celebration while Tunisia stood frozen, trying to understand what had just happened. One moment they had survived, the next they were trailing, and that goal did more than put Sweden ahead. It gave them complete control of the match. Now Tunisia faced a difficult choice. Sit back and risk being overwhelmed, or push forward and leave dangerous spaces behind. They chose to be brave, and Sweden punished them for it. As Tunisia attempted to respond, gaps began to appear between their defensive lines. Sweden recognized it immediately. Their movement became sharper. Their passing became quicker. Then came another devastating attack. A chance opened up on the edge of the penalty area. The ball found Alexander Isak, one of Sweden's most dangerous players. He took his opportunity without hesitation. One strike, one finish, one more goal. Just like that, Sweden doubled their advantage. At 2-0, the momentum had completely shifted. Tunisia weren't playing badly. They were fighting. They were competing. But every Swedish attack felt dangerous, while every Tunisian mistake seemed to carry massive consequences. Still, football has a way of changing in an instant, and Tunisia finally found a lifeline. A well-worked move developed down the flank. The delivery into the box was inviting. The timing was perfect. A powerful header met the cross. Goal! Suddenly, there was hope. The Tunisian supporters found their voices again. The players sensed an opportunity. One goal can transform the psychology of an entire match. And for a brief moment, it felt as though the comeback might be on. But what happened next would completely crush those hopes. Great teams know how to respond under pressure. And Sweden responded immediately. Instead of panicking, they stayed patient. They continued to trust their attacking system and waited for the next opening. It arrived thanks to a costly mistake. Tunisia surrendered possession in a dangerous area. Alexander Isak seized the opportunity. Instead of forcing a shot, he kept his composure and drew defenders toward him before sliding the ball across to Victor Gyökeres. The finish was clinical, 3-1. Game change. The Tunisian comeback had barely begun before Sweden slammed the door shut. At that point, Sweden were playing with confidence, freedom, and belief. Every attack carried purpose. Every pass seemed to find its target. Then came one of the most memorable moments of the night. A substitute had only just entered the field. He hadn't even had time to settle into the match. But football can be magical like that. A clever backheel created space. The defense was caught off guard. The chance appeared, and the substitute took it. Goal. The celebrations began immediately, but then uncertainty crept in. The referee paused. Players looked around. Fans waited nervously. Was there an offside? A foul? Something missed in the build-up? The officials reviewed the situation. Communication issues only added to the tension. Nobody seemed entirely sure what was happening. For a few moments, the entire stadium held its breath. Then came the final verdict. Goal confirmed. Sweden had their fourth. And by now, There was no doubt about the outcome. The only question remaining was how many more they could score. To Tunisia's credit, they continued to fight. Their goalkeeper produced an impressive save to prevent further damage. Defenders threw themselves into challenges. The effort never disappeared. But Sweden simply had another gear as the match entered its final stages. They continued attacking with the same hunger they had shown from the start. Then came one final moment of brilliance. Space opened up once again. The ball was struck cleanly. The technique was flawless. The shot screamed into the net. Another exceptional finish. Another reminder of Sweden's quality. And another reason for their supporters to celebrate. By the time the final whistle arrived, the scoreboard reflected exactly what everyone had witnessed. A dominant Swedish performance, clinical finishing, relentless attacking football, and a team that looked like it had never been away from the World Cup at all. After 8 years of waiting, Sweden returned to the global stage with a performance full of confidence, intensity, and ambition. They didn't just win, they sent a message to every team watching. The road ahead will only get tougher, but if this display is any indication, Sweden are ready for the challenge. Now it's your turn. What was the biggest moment of the match? Did Sweden fully deserve the victory? And after a performance like this, how far do you think they can go in the tournament? Let us know in the comments below.